This is Good Morning Uganda.
Still in that spirit of worshipping, when you talk about any music by Don Moen, he's one of the artists who perfected worship. Most of his songs are worship songs, and really they'll take you there with a connotation of what is in the scriptures. And Felix and Priscilla, this was a lovely moment. I didn't see Felix really being taken.
I don't know why you say he has perfected. I don't think he has perfected.
The art of worship songs?
You see, when you dwell in God, you don't need perfection, and that's not what he seeks of us. He simply blesses you. That's why me, when I sing, and Priscilla here always loves to laugh at me, and how even you, Robert, once. But I will tell you that
actually you rarely sing.
No, it's because you people think I don't have a good voice. But I know that I will bless God with what he has given me. And that's what it is. At the end of the day, I don't seek sanctity in accuracy. I sing to glorify God. And I was trying to hymn a song here. There's a song we sang together last time called Ndiwo. You know that song, Robert? You know that song?
I'm not very accurate, but at least I can move around a few.
Priscilla, you know this song?
I do. Okay. You want us to
no. But I think that's a good number. Don Moll is on point. He has the anointment to preach.
I love the word anointment.
Yeah, he is very anointed. He's one person I don't doubt the grace of God upon him to do worship and praise. I know for a fact that he's, you know the Bible says he that sings or worships praise twice. You know that? Remember the story of David when he went out and all that, he was singing, creating me a clean heart, and when he presented himself. So there's power in people who worship God through music. And some people, I think even to our viewers, you should, it's a big thing. It's a big deal.
Well, City Pastor Felix Nkunda.
Tell them.
There's one thing you don't know about Felix. He's a man who was in a seminary.
Pastor, motivational speaker, man of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Very interesting. You just remind me when they're going to introduce a preacher in the born-again community or in a church, we introduce a man of God who has traveled the entire world preaching,
read the Bible back to back.
Read the Bible back to back.
The Constitution is on his fingertips.
And you're like, who is coming, oh God? But also, but also, after that pompous introduction, you see suits you've never seen.
Right.
You see ties you've never
seen.
But everyone has said the analogy about dress code when it comes to preaching. It's about centralizing attention. It's just about centralizing attention.
You attract
you just
people
have to centralize, exactly. Because, you know, as beauty as it looks, the beauty, it's hard for you to detach a message from how they look, even if the man comes and says nothing.
But Felix, the rabbis of back in the day just used to wear robes, and there was nothing attractive about the robes they used to wear. But their messages were actually loud and clear, and they are ascribed.
There's a connection with anointing and how you're dressed.
I don't think so.
Ugandan born again, only in Uganda.
Well, hallelujah is here. And this is a drink that even will help you for many that could have lost. You know, when you lose an election, depression can lower down your immune system. You've invested so much, but this drink will help you boost your immune system as well, but also in the days of COVID-19. And this is very relevant for you to take. It is a drink that boosts your immune system, and this is what we seek for at such a time. Elections, campaigns, maybe some people are exposed. And very important now is to ensure that you boost your immune system, and so that in case of an eventuality, when your body is strong to fight diseases, it greatly improves you so much. Felix, I see you're holding a bottle. Have you taken one yet?
I can tell you this is my wake-up pill, man. I sort of like start my day with hallelujah, ginger
drink. The accent has changed.
So I'm saying,
wake up stomach there.
That's what I'm talking about, because it has those ingredients that actually every Ugandan will need. And maybe this time next, don't forget, hallelujah is a Ugandan drink, and of course when you talk about hallelujah, there's no way you miss to talk about bubu. It is made by Ugandans, and that is manufactured by Hallelujah Reflexology Health Solutions and Nutrition Research Center Limited. That is in Kazo, Kito, Zone B, Nambole, Boyogerere. I'll tell you that you need this is a time where we must we've been talking about apps and what. There's no way to cut that across in different sectors. The pride in us taking what is made in Uganda is the only thing we can share with our colleagues who do this. This is made from natural. It's a natural drink, and in the Muslims we say it is halal. It does not contain any alcoholic content, so it is good for you, our Muslim brothers. But of course, we must say also, take yourself ginger, hallelujah, ginger tea drink, and hallelujah, tamarind drink. That is the nkonge. Nkonge mu Uganda mujimanyi. Nkonge. Era twagitekanga mazzi agabuguma n'ogibikako, then you take it. It does miracles and wonders, I can tell you. Priscilla, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
And also for this drink, particularly away from the boo-boo, it has been cleared by the National Bureau of Standards. It has been certified by UNBS, so it is safe for you to drink. That's very importantly. Well, it's time we head into our newsreel story, and we are looking at the election observers. So much happened, and the East Africa Commission Elections Observers Mission appreciated the Electoral Commission and Uganda for conducting a peaceful election. However, they raised concerns regarding the biometric machines. That sometimes they didn't work out very well. Also, they had reports of somewhere in some polling stations where voting did not go as they should have expected. Let's first take a look at this.
In this preliminary statement, therefore, we present our immediate appreciation of conduct in technological capacity as a result of the restricted internet access. The mission was not able to observe the transmission of results from the polling stations to the district and national tally centers. We were also not able to transmit our field information in real time. About polling day, the mission is concerned that its electronic means of transmission of election day observation was hampered by the shutdown of internet on election day. The mission will therefore give a detailed report on the observation on the election day procedure in the final report. Nevertheless, the mission noted the generally peaceful atmosphere that characterized voting and the high turnout of the youth and women in the stations the mission was able, in the polling stations the mission was able to observe. The mission made a number of stakeholders, including the acting secretary of the Electoral Commission, the East African Community Observer Mission, and the Women's Situation Room. And the mission is looking forward to engaging with other stakeholders, notably government officials and political parties before it departs Kampala. Finally, the mission recognizes that elections come and go, but that Uganda and its citizens remain. The mission takes this opportunity to urge all stakeholders, especially political leaders, to refrain from any acts of violence that could lead to loss of life and destruction of property. It also encourages stakeholders to engage in meaningful dialogue at all levels and to pursue any disputes peacefully in accordance with laid down procedures. About polling day, the mission is concerned that its electronic means of transmission of election day observation was hampered by the shutdown of internet on election day. The mission will therefore give a detailed report on the observation on the election day procedure in the final report. Nevertheless, the mission noted that
Most of the polling stations visited opened late as a result of malfunctioning of the biometric voter verification kits, late delivery of polling materials, and late arrival of 10 voters. Standard operation procedures for COVID-19 were largely followed. All polling stations visited had hand washing stations. Hand sanitizer were available in some polling stations, and the use of masks and social distancing not strictly adhered to.
Those are the observers and their preliminary findings, a report they have come out with. We have the African Union, the East African Community, and also the Women's Situation Room. So that is a team of 3 that came up together with their findings and were giving a report. Interesting findings there, Felix. They looked at polling day where soaps, to an extent, were, apart from masks and also social distancing. They looked at the biometric machines, that somewhere they were used successfully, other places they failed and they were abandoned, like the polling station where I voted. I did not even see the machine. Maybe I came in late when it worked out. So that's some of the issues that they raised, but however, they say it was a free and fair, credible election.
Well, of course, free and fair depends on where you stand. But remember, we have had discussions about an election being the actual day, and later on the post-election process. So when you have an observer coming out with the report at this time, probably a couple of things are left out. Not that we do take cognizance of what they are able to observe amid this election. The highlighted points are quite the given, or what was seen. If you want to discuss SOPs, the AC tried. At least the issue of masks, water was a bit, but masks was a must. No, the issue of voting, people who presented themselves have not come out to say that they were denied opportunity. We have not had those cases. Security was up there. Challenges of starting late were there, but were minimal compared to other elections. That's the truth. Because in previous elections, even here in Kampala, you'd notice that people would start voting at midday. But this time around, it was a bit isolated cases. However, the East African Community observers and the African Union observers, in this case, come out to give a report where we still have challenges as a result of the same electoral process, where we have some candidates still under restrictions, you know that. They are challenging, some people already challenging the election, okay? Yet the same has not been done through court processes, where we are having still people calling on to incitement, you know. You and me know that some people are still in fear, in as much as people are trying to be brave and modern, but there's still a bit of fear of violence. Some people, elected leaders, are simply saying that, no, we are going to antagonize, we want to, you know, last time Zake alleges that he was beaten. So all these things must be put in perspective if you want to have a wholesome approach on to observancy. But by and large, the major activity of an election, away from the, for example, mayor, councillors and what, was the election day. It's what causes determination of what kind of observing you give. So the fact that it happened, that is the starting point. And we can start there by saying we must credit the government plus the Electoral Commission and all agencies that work with them, the police, the whatever and all that, for having made that day happen. Now, the aftermath discussion of about what happened, what didn't happen, who did what, how did, is something we can talk about the other day. But the primary is that happened, and I appreciate them to take acknowledgement of that. No wonder they are saying they will give a conclusive report probably when so much has happened. But when we want to talk about observing, Robert, the question is, what do these people observe, and what is their limits in mention, and what is the effect of observing? You get the point. Are election observers routine attendants? after the recommendations, do we have precedent that some of the recommendations made have changed, you know, the dire play out of elections? Or is it a routine or occasional that after elections we shall have Chirago come and say something, then bye? Is it routine? So for me, as I listen to them making these statements, that's what comes into my mind. What is the effect of the African Union observing Ugandan elections? What is the effect of the African community observers observing Ugandan elections? Does it cause any effect? Does it have any sort of effect? Okay, if there are recommendations and reports made, how have they been handled previously? That would give us or inform us on what to expect. Okay, when they talk about the absence of biometric machines and all these things, or not working, and what is it? What can they do in response to that? So
very interesting there, Felix, and that's why I want to take it on. Is this just a formality that yes, countries hold elections and observers come in, make their reports, make their recommendations? They are mandated to give to submit their report first to the Electoral Commission. Then for independent local observers, they are given a period which they must submit a report to the courts of law, so that maybe it can be used sometime. I want to get your assessment on this.
The first observer of any election is the local or the country person, the person who's in that country. For this case that we're talking about is Uganda. The first observer, is me, the Ugandan. How did I observe these elections? It's very interesting that when you go to visit people, first of all, you're limited to where you can go. You cannot go to the bedroom. I think you can only go to the sitting room and the bathroom. That is where you have access to. And you only talk about the things of that home in comparison to what you are permitted to see, and then from which you make your assessment and say, I want to go to Chirabo's house, and their TV is very big, but you don't know if Chirabo has 1 or 2 or 3 4 other TVs in the house. So it is a good observation, but it's limited observation in comparison of the bigger spectrum. They looked at 140 polling stations. We had 34,684 polling stations. They looked at one region for the case study that they made. We had how many? 146 districts to consider. Surely there were so many variations in this report if we're going to take the bigger picture of what actually happened in Uganda. But anyway, we thank them for the observations, but according to us, yeah, they do highlight some things, such as weather definitely did contribute to some delays in some regions, but that's a natural disaster. You cannot control it. Biometrics was secondary aid to what the process was primarily. As long as there's a register, you have a national ID or a voter's slip, you're good to go. They also mentioned the fact that there was a lot of verification kits and a limitation in terms of technology. Yes, the internet was off. Now, that's what I want to have a conversation about. The fact that there was no internet, somehow in one way or another, internet was aiding the quickening of this process, especially for the residing officers or the EC officers moving this information to the National Tallying Center. First is electronically as they wait for the actual results to reach the National Tallying Center. But it's a learning lesson that next time, the way it was planned that they are going to switch off internet for such a period of time, next time they should have stakeholders on the table also bringing this into consideration now that they've seen its impact. That next time, in consideration of, yes, you want to switch off the internet, but you might want to be considerate of this process and how it can actually be quickened with the presence of internet. So it would be acceptable, limited to the people that are directly influencing the electoral process. The other thing I would like to talk about is security. As far as security was concerned, at least for the few elections have been a part of, this has been the most peaceful election. But even if you want to observe, you see, the election of 2016 is different. The election of 2011 is different. 2006 was different, well until back to 1996. There have been different things that have shaped and designed the entire electoral process before, during, and after. In this particular one, first of all, Electoral Commission had a very big task to handle, which was the pandemic, COVID-19. And how did they sail through that pandemic is something I would like us to assess in our own spectrum or perspective perspective for that matter, did they actually do their level best? I believe, in my perspective, they did try in terms of ensuring that on the different polling stations, they tried as much as possible to encourage hand washing and sanitization and mask. The social distancing thing is uncontrollable because it is time versus trying to maintain an SOP. It would have been medical in consideration that you'd have to do voting for 2 days if we're going to consider one of those social distancing, most especially. It would have to stretch the process a little longer, either overnight or take it into another day. But in 2026, the dynamics will be different. You have to consider that there were now more candidates on the lists to be able to cast a vote. You have to consider that this was a whole new electoral commission in the first place. So with all this in consideration, I think they did a commendable job.
I agree with you.
But Robert, just if I may just make a small comment about what my sister is saying, and probably also what I said earlier, is that if you want to talk about election observing, if I may call it, what are the key elements under that, or what are the primary aspects if you want to talk about observing? I was listening to these reports given, and the major emphasis is put on COVID. I don't know if you've noticed, and I find that is quite diversionary. An election, in as much as we are in the presence of COVID, but an election is an election. And a pandemic is a pandemic, in as much as it is equally important. But the true judgment of an election must be given on a foot-bearing of the election. What is expected, what versus what happened. And I feel, for me, that's where they miss the point. That if you want to discuss observing, let's talk about the actual expectations of an election, in as much as you can share them in the COVID issue.
But also you can never know my home better.
And Priscilla, very important is when observers come into an election, they make reports of what they have found. They submit these, for example, they're going to meet government officials, they're going to meet political parties. So records are usually important. But the question is there a will to implement their findings? That is all that matters, because they'll submit this to courts of law in case there is a court case regarding these elections. The observers' reports could at one way or the other factor in. They'll submit this to the Electoral Commission. If there is a will to make adjustment, to make changes, this is also another important factor. So the report is there. We are still expecting more. This is just a preliminary report of what the observers from the African Union, East African Community, and the Women's Situation Room were able to come out with, highlighting a few successes and of course challenges in this election. We hope and believe that the findings will be implemented for a better election. This isn't the first election, it's neither the last election that we are going to be having, but where there is matter, where there are reports, action on them makes a better environment for elections in this country. When we return, we'll be looking at that is some of the stories in the print media.
January 2021. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. Today is a great day to make someone's day. A wonderful day to rewrite the future. Today is a beautiful day to light up their world. A marvelous day to make a brand new start. The perfect day to make the world smaller. Uganda, today isn't just another day. Today is your day. Airtel Money, with you always. Airtel Money, quick, secure, borderless.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Daddy, surprise! Here is a pizza for you. Happy birthday to you. Daddy, you look not impressed.
My daughter, this is not meaningful to me. Hallelujah Natural Drinks is my ideal gift today.
Hallelujah Ginger Tea Drink and Hallelujah Tamarind Drinks are the most perfect, nutritious and healthy products that help everyone to boost their immune system to get complete relief of most sicknesses like joint pains, cough, diabetes, blood pressure, easy digestion, and many more. And certified by UNBS. For orders, find us at Bifro House on Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, opposite MBI. Hallelujah Natural Drinks, perfect for your health. Hallelujah.
Notice peanut butter. Enjoy the real taste of Notice natural peanut butter that spreads happiness to the whole family. Available in smooth, crunchy, and chocolate nut variants. Pick a size that fits your pocket from 125 grams, 250 grams, 400 grams, and 800 grams. Notice peanut butter, the real peanut butter. Available in all leading supermarkets.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
It is a new week. Voting was done, counting was done. We know the winners and the losers. It is time that now embark on work and moving Uganda forward for the next 5 years as we wait for Wednesday's election when the mayors, LC5s and LC3s are going to be elected. So please, there is still another election coming your way and let's also participate. Priscilla, before we dive into the press review, I got a disappointment. You know, we've constantly had a challenge in voter turnout. You have 18 million plus registered.
Why do you call it a challenge?
Because it's continuing, that people who register and turn up. Can you believe that there was a drop of 11% in terms of voter turnout?
But you know, voting is an option. It's not compulsory, so it cannot be a challenge. If I've chosen to stay home, if for some reason, maybe people are sick, maybe some have passed on from the voter registration of 18 million.1 that we looked at. So I beg to disagree.
So about
I don't think it's a challenge.
Not turning up. To me, I believe
at
we should
least
look at
10
these
million
issues.
have given us direction.
We should look at these issues and see how best we can improve on people who register and still
how would you want to improve it?
Their vote. Look at issues that could have led to them, because we can't assume that those people are dead. You can't assume that. So what are some of the issues that could have hindered these people not to vote? How best
so what are some of these issues you...
For example, I was looking at some of the observers. Crispin Kaheru, an independent observer, said there was a bit of tension to the election and maybe could have scared some people. A bit of diplomacy could have scared some people. Then less voter education. And maybe some people didn't know who they are going to vote. Time of campaigning. So I believe if we address these issues, maybe we can have more of voter turn-up, because it's keeping on recurring that every election, the more we elect, the more we are losing in percentages of people who are registered and turn up to vote. But well, I have the new vision of January 18th day, and it is a Monday, and a very big headline there, the new shape of Parliament. The new shape of Parliament, how parties have shaped seats in, that is the 11th Parliament. There, of course, we see NRM having the lion's share, that is 316 members of Parliament, which is 63.5%. NUP follows with 61 members of Parliament, that is 12.2%. FDC then 5 follows with 28 MPs, percentage of 5.6%. JEMA, DP, UPC, PPP have 20 members of parliament, which is a 4%. Then the independents, very interesting statistics here. The independents are 73 in number, making it 14.7%. The question is, NRM again has dominancy, so it will be able to pass whatever they feel is in the interest of them, because they still have the game of numbers. They're still victor when it comes to statistics that the parliament, the 11th parliament, is going to look like. Still in the new vision, there is coronavirus clinical trials of Uganda, COVID-19, secure set to start. So that is much that you need to know. Then also a health sector milestone of 2020. The Archbishop Kazimba congratulates Museveni on re-election and NUP to challenge election outcomes. For our students also, there's so much regarding chemistry and mathematics. And they also give you how districts actually voted for Kyagulanyi and Museveni.
Looking at the Daily Monitor this morning as we get into the 80th day of January 2021, looking at the headline, "I'll go to court," says Bobi Wine. They give you there an account of how the results turned out. 58.64 in favor of now President-elect Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is smiling in this particular picture. Then you look at the 34.83%, which is being pointed towards Kyagulanyi, who's a president not about to smile anytime soon. But the bulletins in there, Bobby to present evidence of fraud inside Museveni's new agenda, why NRM lost Busoga Luwero on page 8. Observers continue to give mixed reactions on page 11 of the Daily Monitor. You get to look at the upper side of the front page. Elections. Electoral Commission excludes results from 1,200 polling stations on page 7. There's also healthy living for you this Monday in the Daily Monitor. Signs you might be having an attack on page 27. So you might be having some sort of experience, or your parents, your elders in your community could be experiencing something. You might want to buy yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor and understand these signs that could lead to a heart attack. Save a life in advance. We also continue to look at the side 60 held over attack on bus police vehicle. That's on page 3. You look at more news. Family of 5 perishes in house fire, and the lizard is always wondering. I'll go to court, says Bobi Wine, and he's in the lizard's response. This election is not about to end. But also an interesting story in the deep of the Daily Monitor this day. You'll see UETCL pays 3.6 billion for unsupplied power. Yet you have so many regions in Uganda that actually do not have power. So there's power seated there, and yet money is disappearing like a ghost. 10 incumbents in Lango kicked out of Parliament, and it's not even just in Lango, but in the central region also. Lots of people are having this talk on their lips of, hey, Uganda has changed allegiance.
Central region is really difficult. I don't know of any minister within central region that has made it back to Parliament. Oh, well, was it performance, or it's just a wave that took them? But also in the education segment there in the new vision, candidates finalists return to school today. Priscilla. Finalists are returning and candidates to school today.
Okay, that's
so that is what is there. Then also study is shifting there, and they give you about 20,163 schools and other tertiary institutions were granted certificates of compliance. So they believe they'll be able to kick off as schools reopen today. A picture there of a student that is going to school, and this I think is Nakasero Primary School. Yes, I can see the badge of my primary school here and the gate there, and asbestos some side there. So they're just checking the pressure of the temperature for the girl to see if really she's within the confines. The temperature is measured and she can access others. And on the other side also, voters checking the register for their names at Kibuli Secondary School in Kampala. Recently some were used to polling stations, and then turning up some found that these were not actually where they were supposed to vote from. maybe they didn't get their voter allocation slips or something else like that. But that is also another issue that was in this election, though not to so much of a great extent there.
The Daily Guide is bringing you more highlights on page 2. In news, Bobby Wine, the new National Unity Platform president, has been blocked from leaving his house and visitors denied access to his home since Saturday. Edward Chiwanuka Sekandi, the vice president, losing the Bukoto Central Parliamentary seat in Masaka district to Mr. Richard Sebamara. Then you also have from the archives, they have pulled out the year that was 1996. The day was 12th May when President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, accompanied by the First Lady Janet, swearing-in ceremony at Kololo Independence Grounds. A repeat of it is going to be this very same year in May when we have President-elect from the 2021 general election sworn in for the 6th time as president. Today in history, the year was 1961, January 18th. Katikiro becomes first foreign minister, and this was Michael Chintu as the Minister of Foreign Affairs on this particular day. Uganda's first history is being written about in the Daily Guide. First woman to get economics degree, Regina Kato, first woman to obtain a master's degree in economics from Dominican College of San Rafael, California in the United States. So some of those are the editors speak. Also in Africa, South Sudan said it would continue to have talks with holdout opposition groups despite the latter splitting into various factions. Now we close the Daily Monitor looking at sports. Some of the conversations coming through in sports summary for the Daily Monitor. Who knows when rugby league will start? There's also in football, United hold Westful Liverpool to stay on top. For basketball lovers, there's a conversation about Harden posting triple-double in the Nets debut. Familiar script as Cranes faces Wasp in the CAF CHAN 2020 journey that starts on today for Uganda. We will be versing Rwanda, and also Australian Open for our tennis lovers. COVID message up for preps. At least 47 players have so far been confined to their hotel rooms after 4 members have so far been tested positive for COVID-19.
So it is the same story in the New Vision Sports. Cranes big day today. That is can Uganda shrink rival Rwanda, and they give you a lineup, who is in which jersey, who is playing which number among the 25 that have been selected for this. We just pray that we get success, and of course we will not only win this but also head and bring the African Cup of Nations home in Uganda. Well, that is all we're able to get to you from the dailies, but before we go to traffic, just a reminder that in our GMU agenda we expect to host the Minister for Security, General Eli Tumwine. Will be with us in studios, and we'll be deliberating on a couple of issues, more so regarding the post-election security that many Ugandans are really concerned about. The tension and all that. The minister will be here and we'll be deliberating on such issues. So please do not miss that segment.
Ginger and tamarind have been known to be good immune boosters. So we recommend Hallelujah Ginger Tea Drink and Hallelujah Tamarind Drink for you to take this morning as you get into the high of the day. You definitely must boost your immunity so that wherever you pass, just in case you contract anything, even if it's just a flu or cough, your immunity system is just in perfect condition to fight back these viruses and be able to protect you, your health, and your loved ones. So Hallelujah Ginger Tea Drink is a must-have everywhere you go.
And we return with traffic updates to ensure that you can reach your destination safe and sound.
Good morning, Uganda. January 2021, live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Dembe.
Yes, Dad.
Please don't go to the city. Wait for the elections to calm down.
Papa, don't be worried. Election time isn't a matter of life and death. It's supposed to be a peaceful exercise. The winners and losers meant to come together for the good of our country.
You've spoken well, my son. Election comes and goes, but Uganda stays.
Very true, Dad.
Oh, my son. Now, no matter the situation, don't get involved in strikes and demonstrations. Putting your life in danger.
This message is brought to you by Rukal Initiatives.
Yes! Enjoy great value from Airtel with the all-new My Pakalast combo offers. We have customized especially for you the best deals on minutes, data, and SMS with our 3-in-1 My Pakalast combo to give you the best value as you stay in touch with friends and family. To activate My Pakalast voice combo, dial *100 *2 *1# to get started.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Notice peanut butter. Enjoy the real taste of Noti's natural peanut butter that spreads happiness to the whole family. Available in smooth, crunchy, and chocolate nut variants. Pick a size that fits your pocket from 125 grams, 250 grams, 400 grams, and 800 grams. Noti's peanut butter, the real peanut butter. Available in all leading supermarkets.
Shopping needs, come to Capital Shoppers. We have a variety of items like foods, garments, cosmetics, and all sorts of drinks. Enjoy your shopping experience at affordable prices in our fully stocked branches in the following areas: Ntinda Station Road, opposite Makere Business School along Port Bell Road, Duster Street opposite Nakasero Market, and Garden City on Yusuf Lule Road. To all our customers and suppliers, we thank you for your continuous support. Stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, and wear your mask always.
Fruitvale Fruit Juice. Our journey begins in orchards where some of the best fruits are grown. Fruitvale Fruit Juice is 100% natural with no added sugar, filled with the wholesome goodness of vitamins and minerals that nourish your body and delight your taste buds. Enjoy real fruit juice in orange, tomato, apple, beetroot with mango, lemon mint with cucumber, mango, berry and tropical variants. Grab your Fruitvale 100% fruit juice today. Available in all leading supermarkets.
Good morning, Uganda. January 2021. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much. Uganda Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with the day's conversations as we kickstart off your morning. Priscilla Naloga here to take a look at the traffic and where it could be having some sort of hiccups. Now, looking at the area in Chevando that is leading to the Kampala Northern Bypass, you do have, of course, it does connect to Chevando and Chisasi and other places on the other side. But this morning, we get to see some sort of red lines which indicate that there is some road block on this particular area in Chevando that leads the roundabout that comes from Chevando leading to Kalere Market. As of this morning, it actually is having some blockages on the main route and diversionary routes have been created elsewhere. So you might want to consider maybe passing through Nsoba, coming through and joining Chisinjiri Street to be able to get into the heart of the city. Also, you might want to be coming through maybe some other routes here that you can look at heading to Total Karere. You can use Church Road to connect away from Total Karere and be able to join Chisinjiri Road and then be able to connect to Chabakade Road, and you'll be into the heart of the city area. Of course, all these areas are leading you into Wandege Mulago area. Now, speaking of the Mulago area, you get to see that around Chitante Medical School, Mawanda Road, off Mawanda Road. All these areas so far this morning are actually clear. As you know, we are post-election and people are still thinking that maybe there could be some post-election violence coming through. But it's definitely also contributing to how people are responding in terms of coming into the heart of the city. Now, there's also another hot spot that is being highlighted in red. Red shows that there is some challenges on this particular road. We are looking at Bukoto, the area of Bukoto around from Kabira Country Club in Bukoto joining Kira Road. There is also a roadblock currently as we speak. It shows red lines on the cars that are coming from Tinda Bukoto heading into Kampala using Kira Road. That side this morning has also had some barricades being placed there, and these barricades are definitely affecting the flow of traffic. So you may want to consider alternative routes if you're in a rush hour, but also if you're not in a rush hour, then you can patiently wait out for the alternative route that will be provided by the traffic officers in this particular route. Looking at the rest of Kira Road into the heart of the city, it's looking actually very clear. So at the end of the day, it's a Monday, you need to get to office, but do consider that you want to be very mindful of the peace in the location that you are heading to. This is Good Morning Uganda. We do have a conversation about security coming up on Good Morning Uganda agenda. We do have General Eli Tumwina, who is the Minister for Security. We are hosting him and we want to hear from him. What does he say about the post-elections security and peace into our country?
Good Morning Uganda, January 2021, live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Connect to the world for free on Ayoba. Chat with friends for free. Play games all day for free. Jam to Ziki for free. You can also send money through Ayoba. Absolutely no MBs needed. To download the app, visit www.mtn.co.ug/mymtn and select Ayoba.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Kasinji buri kiregaruka mutawuni iby'ubururu banze byikikana tata reka kweraricerra ubwire bwo bururu tubushemerere kuba buryo bwo kufa ningo bwo kucera bushemerere kuba buryo bwire bwihorere abasinga n'abasingwa bashemerere kwatara hamwe ahubwo burungi bwihanga
wagambaje mutabano wanje ubururu bwija bugaruka bugenda kukitwa abanya-Uganda tusigara mutabano wanje ubahawe kiminga ki gitantaro kwejumbara ombyo kwesharinga n'ibyo kushishagura ibintu by'abandi aho kuba nibiteka amagara gawe omukabi obutumwa n'ukureterwa aba local initiatives.
Double data. Airtel introduces double data. The biggest deal ever on smartphones in Uganda. Buy a smartphone, 3G or 4G, and get 100% data bonus from Airtel. Airtel is giving you 100% bonus data on all weekly and monthly bundles for every new smartphone connected to Airtel for the first 3 months. Dial *175*9# to enjoy double data. Double data, double data. Oh, Airtel, the smartphone network, regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Shopping needs, come to Capital Shoppers. We have a variety of items like foods, garments, cosmetics, and all sorts of drinks. Enjoy your shopping experience at affordable prices in our fully stocked branches in the following areas: Ntinda Station Road, opposite Makere Business School along Portbell Road, Justice Street opposite Nakasero Market, and Garden City on Yusuf Lule Road. To all our customers and suppliers, we thank you for your continuous support. Stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, and wear your mask always.
Fruitvale Fruit Juice. Our journey begins in orchards where some of the best fruits are grown. Fruitvale Fruit Juice is 100% natural with no added sugar, filled with a wholesome goodness of vitamins and minerals that nourish your body and delight your taste buds. Enjoy real fruit juice in orange, tomato, apple, beetroot with mango, lemon mint with cucumber, mango, berry and tropical variants. Grab your fruit vial 100% fruit juice today. Available in all leading supermarkets.
Bw'oyogera nyaffe Uganda ku Radio Africa tolemwa kumwenya olw'akamwenyumwenyu akajjudde abanywanyi. Embeera y'obudde yatukolako mukwano n'obutonde obutubeezaawo ne butusobozesa buli omu okubeerawo mu ngeri ye kuba ffenna tuli banjawulo ne mu ngeri gye tukwasaganyamu emirimu gyaffe. Naye ekitugatta ne tufuuka omuntu omu bwe buwoomyo obuva mu kyokunywa ekyaleeruya jingated drink n'aleeruya tamarin drink eddekende erikumala ennyonta ate nga wejjanjaba omubiri gwo. Ekyokunywa kino kye kitegeera emibiri gyaffe kuba kya butonde 100 ku 100. Woomerwa ekyokunywa ekirimu omubisi gw'enkooge aleeruya tamarin drink n'aleeruya jingated drink bikolebwa ba Aleluya Reflexology Healthy Solution and Nutritional Research Center Limited. Wafunira ekyokunywa kya Aleluya leero okuva ku maduuka wonna. Bakubire ku noti 393 24 15 66.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning once again. Thank you for keeping it on UBC TV. This is the 18th day of January 2021. We had the elections, we had the campaigns, winners were announced, losers also got to know where they stand. But all in all, we want to thank all Ugandans for having ensured peace during this time. Today we are going to be looking at the post-election times here in Uganda after we've had an election. Elections have 3 phases. They have the campaigning, the voting, then the post-bit of it. And we are honored in our studios today to have the Minister for Security, General Eli Tumwine. General, you're most welcome to our studios this morning.
Good morning in this Good Morning Uganda program.
I want to begin by congratulating you and security upon a peaceful election that we had so far.
Thank you very much. It was indeed successful and peaceful.
General, can you please take us through how the security situation was during these elections?
Well, first of all, when you asked me to come for this program, I thought that I normally start by saying, wishing everybody to tell his neighbor that peace be with you.
Peace be with you.
Peace be with you, my brother.
Peace be with you.
Tell your neighbor there, wherever you are, that peace be with you. Because when you have peace with God and peace with yourself, then that's what starts peace everywhere. So, peace be with you, our viewers. And before I go into the security situation, I really want to do 4 things. I want to do congratulations. I want to talk about sharing and share with you my views on security and the context of it. I want to assure Ugandans about the future and appeal to them for peace. Now, straight away, I really cannot miss an opportunity to congratulate the people of Uganda for this successful and peaceful election that took place on the 14th and ended very well. I want to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency the President who won the elections, and to say that God has given us another opportunity to continue the steady progress. Of course, in all this, we thank God for whatever He has enabled us to go through. I want to thank the NRM party which won the elections. I want to thank all the voters, all those who voted, almost 10 or the 10 million people who voted, because there are some who did not vote. I want to thank all, in a special way, since this is my docket, in a special way, I want to thank the security agencies and the security services of Uganda who assured the people of Uganda, of security wherever they were, and people have appreciated. I really want to bring you good messages from all over the country. People are appreciating the security that helped the elections to be free and to be in calm and to enable people to vote in peace. So I want to thank the security agencies. I want to thank the Electoral Commission and congratulate them for having completed their exercise and enabled Ugandans to choose their leaders. I want to thank the government officials and all those who helped in one way or another to do their work and ensure that we had a good election. I cannot forget the presidential candidates, all the other presidential candidates, not only the President Museveni who won, but even all the other presidential candidates, and in a particular way, Katumba Oye and Madame Kalembe.
Why those two, Jen?
Why those two? They're exceptional. They represent to me. This election was very interesting because it represented people from the 20s, people from, at least Kalembe represented the gender, the ladies. It had people from 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, which was very good, and I want to congratulate all those who participated and to assure them that whether they lost or not, Uganda is here for all of us and we should continue. So I really want to thank those. There were people who were praying and fasting everywhere in Uganda. Many people, religious people, were praying and fasting that this election becomes successful and becomes peaceful. And thank God, your prayers were answered. Now, I can now go on what you are asking me to talk about, the security situation. I want to put it in the context. I want to put it in the context of where have we, you know, there are always 5 questions that I like that help you to put things in context. The 5 questions are, why are we doing what we are doing? Even why are we here in this studio? Why did we have to organize elections? Why did we have to have security everywhere? Why did that question, why, is a very important question. That's why I wanted to share with you where I said I think the second point, apart from congratulations, is sharing. You know, there are 3 words which are very important for me. Anything, whether physical or not physical, or ideas, are things. Anything is a thing. This book is a thing. I am a thing. You are a thing. Everything is a thing. But everything has its own unique value. It has its own unique value. But that value, if that value is not shared, then that value is useless and can even be worthless. So I am here to share with you the context of the 5 questions that I like that I like you to always think about. The 5 questions are: why are you doing what you are doing? Where have we come from? Where are you now? Where have we reached? Where do we want to go? And how shall we go there? So this context, those 5 questions will help me to explain where Uganda's security has come from, where Uganda's progress has come from, and where we are, where we want to go, and how we shall go there. You know, that question why, me, I like singing. When we were in the bush, we had our song, Kibonge chanini, vijana walihamia musituni, walienda huko musituni, kupigania demokrasi, and many other things which we outlined, why we went to the bush. So that context was answering the question why. And I am glad to say that it is that democracy that has brought us this far.
Where we are today.
Where we are today. That deliberate, conscious program that Uganda, you know, many people don't know this. I don't know of any other country where elections are held from the president to members of parliament to local government leaders up to the LC1 in the village. You remember we had LC1 elections, we had women elections, We had youth elections throughout the country, elections from village, sub-county, district up to the national. Now we have these national elections of presidential and parliamentary. And other elections are continuing. Uganda actually has had so many elections, and this was that why for democracy. Secondly, when we come to where have we come from, if you know where Uganda has come from, you will be able to know that what has brought this steady progress that has enabled us to have a constitution which was done, to have that constitution followed, and provide elections like these every 5 years, and we choose our leaders and change them. You see how leaders are changing. Leaders are changing. Perhaps if the president has not been changing as many, but members of parliament are changing, the local government officials are changing, and up to LC1. So changing these leaders was that where we have come from. The progress, steady progress, economic progress, in other areas of education, of health. So there has been this continuous progress that I want to say, it has helped us to move forward steadily as long as there is security.
Relating that, General, to
that's the main point that I want to emphasize.
Okay.
How has the security, the history of the security of Uganda been moving? Because everybody should know, should be really appreciate where the history of the security of Uganda has come from. That has enabled us to have not only peace in Uganda and stability, but even to be able not only to host all the people who run from all over the continent, but as refugees, but to help even others on the continent of Africa. What is this context? What is this? How come? There should be a question of what is this force that enabled Uganda to build a force where we have come from, where we had forces which were colonial forces, which were anti-people, to have a pro-people force that has brought us this far. You know, this question of why are we deploying troops?
Yes, that is where I wanted us to get.
Yes. Yes. Why did we deploy soldiers, policemen, security services, all security services to be as near the people as possible? Is because it has had that history of where we came from. Because the old forces were anti-people. But when we built a pro-people force, it is the one, it was there to assure the people, as you saw. Because this was a real demonstration. Many campaigns were carried out. Oh, this is to intimidate people from voting. Oh, this is...
That is where, you know, we need to explain more, because even I've been reading a report from one of the observers regarding why there was a decline in voter turnout, saying that the presence of the army and these are the situations where so much of the army involvement could have been a factor to that.
I wish you could ask that observer what percentage in their country vote. Because world over, those world over, you know, some of these countries which are talking about voter turnout never achieve beyond 43. You check in the whole of Europe, the whole of America. For this recently, when they reached 60, they said this is in 120 years. They had never achieved such a voter turnout. They are always below 43, below 40. So this question of voter turnout, first of all, you know, some of the people of Uganda, as I have said, some were saying, for us, we know the president is going to, we don't have even to bother. We are just going to pray and fast, and we don't have to vote. We even have religious groups which say for them they don't vote. So this is not a new thing. The percentages of people who turn out depend on many things. There was COVID. People were not well, some of them were scared, but I don't think the demonstration of this election was to show that the more they saw security around, actually the more they went to vote in big numbers, and they turned out. So that is why, because of the steady continuous building of the security capacity, but more so of creating a pro-people security force. So I want to thank the people. And you know, we for us, our work, we don't do it alone. We do it with the population. And still I want to sing for you our song. Kazi ngumu tunayofanya na wananchi wenyewe, tutamupiga adui na kumufukuza Uganda. So right from the beginning, all we were doing it with the population. All we were doing it close to the people. We are not doing it alone.
Could we say,
even this security deployment was with the people. People are saying, if you provide us security, please ensure us security to have a peaceful environment so that people don't grab.
General, were there potential threats that maybe informed the security, or it was just a formality and of course the call for the people?
No, every election we deploy. But here this time, there was so many threats actually.
Okay.
First of all, there was, right from the beginning of these elections, some of the presidential candidates were threatening, were saying we shall defy security. Some were saying we are even more than police. We shall beat police. Some were saying we are not going to follow the COVID rules. Some were even, and to make it worse, they did not only say it, they did not only cite the people, but you saw what happened. Actually, the violence erupted as a result of that. So there were many. Then there were also criminal organized groups. There were even some who had the terrorist plans. So there was a heightened threat and intimidation. They were intimidating the people. I don't know whether they were intimidating to stop them from voting, saying there will be insecurity, there will be violence, and therefore we said there will be no violence, there will be no insecurity. We have built capacity to ensure the people of Uganda that we can defend them and their property and their territorial integrity. So really that was the contest. The contest was, will the people of Uganda have security to vote or not? And we assured people, we said, please don't fear, don't be intimidated, go and vote in peace and go home. And this was what happened. That's why I'm saying I am very happy, and I was congratulating all those who provided that environment. When you go to the question of where have we reached, where we have reached is that Ugandans, especially the young people, and now I really want to talk about the young people, to know where we have reached. Because where we have reached is that because of this continuous build-up of capacity, of security, to ensure the people that you do your business, you do your work, as long as you don't break the law, you will have steady progress. Now, some of the young people have this tendency of thinking that they can be spoon-fed, they are entitled to being given free things. No! Nobody is answerable for your life. Nobody is answerable for your life. Only that you need to be guided, and that's what we have been doing and we shall do. Continue to guide the young people that there are ways and opportunities that are available. Look for them and see how you can enjoy and make your life out of it, rather than saying we want everything given to us by the government. There is that mentality also, which is, I think, a wrong mentality. So I was saying that where we have reached is that with this huge force of young people. By the way, I really want again to congratulate the young people. When we went to the youth elections, from the village, as I have been repeating, from village to parish to sub-county to the district up to the national, the young people turned out very well in big numbers, and they voted. And 630,000 young people were elected. Now, this is why I was saying that Uganda's democracy is amazing. So all these young people are now ready to lead their fellow young people to a better Uganda.
Very interesting.
So where we have reached is that we have not only established peace and stability in the country for economic and socio-economic transformation in every sector, but we have now built a new generation in peace, which is educated, which is exposed, they can reach any knowledge from anywhere all over the world, and they can be more innovative, and which can build a better future. And this is the security of the country. You see, the security of the country is not necessarily of those people who are in uniform. The security of the country is in how the population, that's why we need to do mindset change and mindset understanding. And whatever negative talk that is going on, whatever negative misguided is going on, there is also the opposite side. The positive information, the explanation. You see what effort, you see how the president has taken time. His campaign was not about vote me, vote me.
It was so much of explaining.
His campaign was education, 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 education. And this is how things change. Things don't change by just excitement.
General, talking about the young people, which is a success to the NRM.
Yes.
That yes, we have young people, they are educated, they are taking places of leadership. One of the concerns of the young people, as we look at this election, pre and after, is the internet issue. Is this still a threat to Uganda?
No, please. You see, Uganda, not even Uganda, the world has been there before.
Okay.
Internet is a recent thing. The most important thing is actually if you have food and you can sleep.
Okay.
Internet on or off, you have your life. Now, this internet is a good thing. It's a technological development for communication. But it is not a life or death thing, as has been established. As I have said, sometimes it goes off actually itself, even when you are, sometimes it gets off. It's not something you can depend on. It has been, you have seen, our Ugandans are not eating.
They're eating,
but
their work life.
So, this, if it, the only problem was that when it is abused, then it becomes a security threat. As it was actually, it was causing more fear.
Okay.
It was inciting the people to violence. It was causing, actually the public was diverted. You know, sometimes people get diverted into wrong things. Instead of seeing what is on the ground, they see what is in the air, which is no here, no there. If you hear information without which is has no authority, which is not authentic, but you may believe it. Now, actually, me, I was always joking. I was saying, for those who are going on WhatsApp, we better go on what's down. What's down is more important than what is up. Whatever goes up comes down. So what is down is, are Ugandans free to do their things? Internet is an addition, and it will be back. But for this period, to avoid confusion, to avoid misuse and abuse of it, as was the case, it's not a secret. You remember they announced me dead on internet?
Yes, I do remember.
So imagine such a thing. If you abuse the use of internet, then we can do without it for some time, and it will come back.
Okay.
And let the young people not depend their lives on internet. Internet is a recent thing. Life has been there with or without internet. And it will come back, and we shall all use it. But we should use it, and we should use it responsibly. That is my appeal. Now, when we go to, you see, I was telling you where we have come from, where we are. I was telling you where we are is we have this strong young generation, which we need to work with, which we need to educate, which we need, because people do not do what they should, they do what they understand. Some of our old people know where we have come from, but our young people
do not know.
Need to be made to understand that it's an effort. It's
and yet many have now won positions of leadership.
Now they are part. That's the beauty.
Many of them have
the beauty of it is that because of this generation who have built up, a good number are now in responsible positions. Now we need to guide them on how to use those responsible positions, on how to guide their fellow youth, on how to look for opportunities that are available in this year and the years to come, on how to focus long term, because the other question that I want to deal is, where do we want to go? Because instead of spending time in being diverted on internet and following what is happening all over the world without looking at the wonderful opportunities in Uganda. You know, you people, Uganda is the most beautiful country in the world. In my song, again I say, our beautiful country, our country Uganda, with milk and honey, full of fresh water, full of fresh air, full of fauna and flora, full of sunshine, the pearl of Africa. That's what the world is missing. We have every opportunity here. That's what young people should look out for. What are the best opportunities in Uganda? If you know how other countries envy for the beauty we have, for this gifted by nature environment. So these
what has failed young people to look out for these opportunities that many a times we are seeing them expressing themselves as discontent?
No, it is misguidance. You see, it is a lack of education. Many of them, when they run away from the villages, and that's what you are seeing, mainly people in the young people in many parts of the country are okay, are doing what they can, but those who mainly come from the villages and come to the city, come hoping that in the city they will get everything is there, not knowing that even in the city you must look for something to do. And there is a lot of expectation. Now, it is made worse by negative education, negative propaganda, negative campaign, Because unemployment is not a thing for Uganda alone. It is a challenge we have to face squarely everywhere in the world and solve it. And how to solve it is what the president has been explaining. The best way to solve these problems of unemployment, the best are these and these and these. Now that's what has been the problem. So some of these young people, actually the biggest challenge has been being misguided. And that's why we must call out a campaign. We must really, this is our duty. Our duty is to change their mindset. Our duty is to show them opportunities. Our duty is to help them enjoy these opportunities in Uganda.
General, how do you
and you see, hope. When you give people hope, they have hope. But when you give them, when you create fear, when you create despair, when you create threats, then you divert people.
So how do you restore the confidence of young people who've just gone through an election where there's been tension, there have been no reports, some have even migrated, it is urban-rural migration, where some have gone to the villages. We look through town, you'll see that people have not yet returned. How do you restore this confidence to Ugandans?
No, the Ugandans should be assured. Actually, that's what I wanted to go to. First of all, to assure the young people. And you know, urban migration is inevitable. Urban migration is inevitable. It is a phenomenon which is
usually what is common is rural urban.
So, although now Ugandans are finding more, actually more opportunities in the villages than sometimes in the towns. Some of the, when you survey, you see those examples which the president was giving on TV of how people are starting small and they gain a lot of money. People think there is money in towns when there is actually a lot of money. For Uganda is unique because our environment is very good, especially in the area of agriculture, but even in other areas. So the best way to assure the young people is to assure them, first of all, to assure them of security. That Uganda has security for all of you. Don't be scared, don't be threatened, don't be intimidated.
So they should return to the city, carry out with
They come back, start with their small businesses, and they do. By the way, if you know, Ugandans are hardworking.
Yes.
If you call a survey, some of us have been engaged with these people along the streets and at the lower level. You see them, those who are working, who are doing chapatis, who are very hardworking, and they are earning. We've dealt with many groups, nursery beds. You find that how he was last year is not how he is this year. And the whole point is, as long as there is peace. Now, this is what I want to actually emphasize. Assure Ugandans that as long as there is peace, as long as there is a stable government, as long as there is nobody trying to disrupt it, everybody will have a chance to find an opportunity for his or her future. And we are working together as we have been doing. If you looked at our 10-point program, it was a deliberate unity. In addition to democracy, real, and we're talking of real democracy. Real democracy was when everybody will participate and freely participate. That's why I was saying it was good that even young people can participate, old people can participate. As long as people can participate in the governance of the country, as long as we unite rather than divide. And here, the young people should, not only the young people, everyone, right from the beginning, we sang, preached, made rules and laws in the parliament against sectarianism, which divides the people of Uganda and the people of Africa. There is no, if we went where we came from, Uganda's history comes from, we were divided. Uganda, to be called Uganda, were from divided kingdoms and chiefdoms and individual separate independent communities that were brought together. And the whole concept of development is based, and progress is based on how we continue to unite. And that's why we are saying, we don't care what religion, we don't care what tribe, we don't care. And Ugandans have been developing, that has been developing. It's not a surprise that the whole of Uganda now has actually voted in a particular way. And some areas have also voted in a particular way. Now, it's very unfortunate because in some areas there have been these people who campaign on sectarian ground and who emphasize it and make it a point, not knowing that it's not only delaying progress, but it is not in their interests. And whoever has tried that has always lost. In the history, if you look at all the elections, whoever has tried to move the sectarian line has always lost, and that is because people have tested unity. People have tested that I don't care what tribe, what religion you are, as long as there is a service, as long as there is a road, as long as there is...
General, do you see a more divided Uganda or a more united
It is going
Uganda?
to be more united. Do you know why?
Why more united?
Because the forces where we have come from, you see this question of where we have come from, where we are, and where we want to go is a very good thing, and how we shall go there. We know it very well. We know that the forces that are now still pushing sectarian are backward, are still are actually trying to delay our progress. But where we have reached is that these young people are not going to accept that. It does not help them. And they are going to see it as more as we expose the dangers of sectarianism, as we explain to them, and even the old ones who are still in that mode, as long as they have seen that it
Who is responsible for this growing tension?
No, there are many forces.
Okay.
You know, in life, there are always two forces, negative and positive, and you need both. You know why we call it the National Resistance Movement? National is for unity. Resistance is that there are things to resist.
Okay.
And without resistance, there is no movement. So those people who fear trouble, who fear... Banyankole have a saying that it is sometimes good for bad things to happen. It is when bad things happen that actually you get lessons out of it and find solutions. So the negativity which some people have been propagating, mainly for selfish reasons, for parochial reasons, for looking who have not who don't have a bigger view of life, who are not thinking of Uganda in a big way, who are not thinking of East Africa in a big way, who are not thinking of Africa in a big way. The biggest, those who are not Pan-Africanists, are some of those negative forces, and they are supported.
General, on negative
and they are
forces,
supported, and they are supported by those who don't like the progress of Africa.
and that is why I want you to, as you're discussing more about the youth in this post-election, there have been claims that after these elections, we have foreigners who come in and aid, worsen the situation, and when you move around, many youth now think there is a solution to a foreign body coming in and assisting. Please throw more light, because these are people who end up in harm's way out of ignorance.
You can say it and say it again. Uganda's progress, Uganda's stability, Uganda's peace has not come from any foreign force.
Okay.
It has come from Ugandans themselves, who organized themselves, who created the new environment, who created the capacity not only to defend Uganda, but even to help other African countries who have been responsible for ensuring peace in the region. So it's not the issue of foreign, you know, there when I sleep, when I'm in my house, what is happening in America, how does it affect me? What is happening in UK? First of all, if you want to talk of the UK, is a kingdom, a united kingdom, where they have a queen who has been there so many years, and the kings and all that, and many other European countries and all that. You go to these outside forces which you talk about, United States, you see what is even happening to them. Let them sort out their matters first. We are sorting Uganda's matters first here. And nobody is going to be responsible for our affairs than ourselves. That's why we are saying Uganda has been building capacity, both security-wise, economic-wise, social-wise, and all other aspects. And our Pan-African position has been growing. So all those who depend on forces that they think will help them are lost, because those forces cannot help, they cannot build Uganda. Wherever the outside forces have come in, those countries they were saying we will be like, wherever those forces have come in, are for their own interests, not for Uganda's interests. Actually, this point is one of the aspects where we think security and stability is going to focus. Because how can you talk of outside forces
coming to destabilize
Uganda's forces, the security forces of Uganda are the ones responsible for the stability and peace of Uganda. Ugandans, relax. Don't have your hopes away from your own people and have that your hopes depend on the outside. No. Nobody else will be responsible for the peace and stability of Uganda than Uganda itself.
Do we have the capacity to divert such forces? We've seen some...
But they have been trying.
Okay.
You know, all this state of progress has not been without challenges. You know, some of the young people who are just a few years might not even have not been following closely. We have had challenges in all these years since NRM came to power. There have been challenges of insurgency, challenges of foreign influence, challenges of countries which want to take advantage. But we have been warding them off by our own capacity. It's not that there is anything new. And these forces will always be there. They will always want to take at anybody who is weak, they will take advantage of him. Now, we have been building our capacity to make sure that we are not weak, nobody can influence us, and we can defend our interests and the people of Uganda, and the interests of the people of Uganda. And that is why we have been making that steady progress, capacity building, and life has been going on peacefully, and everyone is picking and developing slowly, except those who need to be made to understand better. And that is a process. You cannot wake up and it catches you like flu. That you wake up every morning, now you have a job, or you are wealthy, you are rich. No. It's a process first of education. It's a process of understanding. People do not do what they should, they do what they understand. So that's why I want to assure Ugandans that really that song I told you, kazi ngumu tunayofanya na wananchi wenyewe tamupiga adui na adui. Here we are meaning any enemy, any negative force will be able to defeat it by working together with the whole population. And I encourage everybody to join in this process of all of us sitting down in peace. As long as there is peace, you know, there is nothing we cannot solve. Anybody who has a problem, as long as we respect peace, as long as we respect, we cooperate with the, and I'm talking of cooperation. We are talking of cooperation with the security forces, not antagonism, not confrontation. If you want confrontation, they are very dangerous. That's what I've been explaining all along. Don't go for confrontation, go for cooperation with the security forces, so that you help the police and the police helps you.
General, how do you avoid these confrontations? We know some countries have challenges in the post-election period. Of late, we've seen some winners or losers in this election coming up with scenes that are not that very attractable.
Yeah, I have told you, there are always negative and positive forces. And you know, those are the ones that help us improve our capacity.
Okay. So when they happen?
Whenever there is a challenge, we look for solutions. So when we are prepared for them, we are prepared. That's what I want to assure Ugandans. That we have been preparing, we have been building our capacity, as proven in many situations. You see, proven performance is a record. We defeated 27 insurgencies who have tried with guns and with all sorts of organizations, and who have failed. And as a result, we have also been preparing for any other terrorists. What we are prepared for them. But the biggest weapon is education. The biggest weapon is explaining. The biggest weapon is making people understand that they have. It is in their security interest to cooperate and work with the security forces instead of thinking they can confront them and which will cause instability in the country. So my biggest now what I wanted to assure Ugandans at this point, I think my song now, my new song, is abogera abogere Uganda na songa mbere. Abogera abogere Uganda na songa mbere. Abogera abogere Uganda na songa mbere. Tusonge wapi? Those who don't know Swahili, let those who talk. Uganda is moving forward.
One of
we
the
are
challenges,
on course. Our journey has been consistent. Our ideas have been consistent. Our values There's, of course, some of our values which are being affected here and there, corruption here, people who are not serious, people who want quick things. Those problems are there. But our journey and our course is continuing on a steady course with a steady leadership, with a principled political line and ideology that has enabled the Uganda to be number 5 in the fastest developing countries of the world and number 2 in Africa.
Very interesting statistics. General, one of the issues as a minister in charge of security, we've seen a challenge of false propaganda, youth not knowing the truth behind some issues. And as this is part of your docket, I just want you to throw more light on some of the information we are getting in these times. The arrest of one of the candidates. Is this an arrest? Is this a preventive arrest? What is the situation? And why did we lead to this?
But you watch, I think, Enanga and police have been on air.
I need this from the Minister of Security.
The Minister of Security is telling you nobody is under arrest.
Okay.
One of the candidates that I know. But it is in their security interest. It is in their, for their own protection, as it has been explained, that the deployments are made in accordance to the threat. Because that some of the people have higher threats than others. I don't think, and even those other presidential candidates, anybody who has a threat against him, security will be there. So I want to assure people that as long, you see, there is a problem of this defiance continuing. I want to advise and appeal, first of all, the people of Uganda for peace and patience. Really, this idea of anybody, forget, presidential candidates have been there, you saw how they were fighting police everywhere, they would be stopped and they refuse and all that. Now that has ended. For you to be told by police stop and you say I will not stop, they say take this route, this is the one which is safe for you and for the rest of the public, and you say no, me I must take this one. That one we are not going to tolerate. And I think you saw the president in his victory speech, the areas where he clearly said is going to be very firm. Now in the security sector, security is not going to tolerate impunity of crime. Security is not going to tolerate disrupting of peace of the public.
Which some refer to as exercising of their rights.
Those rights can only be there if there is peace. Once there is no peace, all those rights are lost. That's what I told you. Once there is violence, as you saw in those 2 days, once there is violence, most of the rights are lost. Once there is chaos, all those rights you are talking about are not there. And there are also rights for everyone. So, while you think you have your rights, all others have their rights, and the Constitution is very clear. In the enjoyment of your rights, do not infringe on the rights of others. In the enjoyment of your freedom to demonstrate, you know there is a difference, and I have been making it very clear. Peaceful demonstrations are legal. But the moment you go to riot, and you go to fighting, and you go to shooting, and you go to using pangas and using stones and using hammers, yet you have taken the level you have taken the situation to a higher level, where higher level counter measures will be used. So really, the guidance which has been there is avoid violence, allow peace, and do whatever you are doing in accordance to the law. Once you break it, nobody, security forces are not going, which have the duty, constitutional duty of ensuring law and order, are not going to let you do it as you want.
Some have criticized them for being high-handed when handling some of these situations.
Well, yes, it might be there. You know, it might be in every situation.
But yes, a situation can be there.
There are always extremes.
Yes.
Yes, I cannot say that there are angels, only angels in security, as there are no angels in the rest part of the society. You know, if you found out, for us who get information about the crime, the criminality in the society is so high compared to the criminality in the security forces. So some of our indisciplined security personnel sometimes make mistakes, and we are harsh, we are very tough on them, more than anybody else. So I want to assure Ugandans that for the discipline of the security forces, we have always been handling. We have a very strong code of conduct in the UPDF, for example, and even in the police, for anybody who makes a mistake. So those who may make a mistake we shall handle, be assured. But don't the civilians make mistakes because soldiers or security or police are making mistakes. No, avoid it. If you want peace, let others have peace. If you want violence, I always tell you, sisi tuko tayari. We are obliged by the Constitution to ensure, and we have done this all these years. It's not new. No, it's not new.
This looks more of a dynamic situation because now we have more of youth involvement than ever before.
Yes, you see, that's the beauty. That's the beauty. How did this youth come about? They have grown. Health-wise, immunized.
That is a success.
Education-wise, most of them are educated. At least that's why they are on WhatsApp. Otherwise, they will not be there.
So is this a challenge of managing success?
Yes, you see, there are problems of success also. For us, like me, who has cattle, when your cattle become very many on your land, you get a problem of pasture. That is a problem of success. So you have to look for solutions. Now, similarly, having our strong, last year I told some people, I was asked to present a paper on is the African youth an asset or a liability? Automatically, there has never been a better asset for Africa than our youth. Our youth are the strongest, the biggest asset that Africa has. Similar to Uganda. Our biggest asset of Uganda and our pride, if you asked me, what are you proud of as a freedom fighter? Is that we have built and created a period where a young generation has come up who are much better off advantaged than perhaps we were before, who have more opportunities to look for than before, who are able, if we organize and educate them better, who can take Uganda ahead and who can take charge of this country if they understand what to do. And we are doing that. That's our challenge. Our challenge now is to make these young people, and we are doing that, by the way, I can assure you.
Okay.
We have devoted a lot of time with the young people. Don't think about these who are rioting in town are the young people. No, I have told you 630,000 were elected to lead their fellow youth in the whole country. And 97% of those were NRM. They are not in the rioting group. So we are working with those young people to lead their friends, to work with the rest of the society, to lead the Uganda into a much better Uganda than before. And their future is bright. The future, I want to summarize by saying, Ugandans, my appeal is peace and patience. Whoever you are, for those who have lost, it is all over the place. You even see Trump is still not accepting.
Managing defeat.
There are ways. If you are not satisfied, there are provisions which are peaceful. You go to court. There is a provision of how you can solve your matters without having to be violent, without having to disrupt the peace of the country. Peace and patience is my appeal, and I can assure you, as I have said, abogera Uganda nasonga mbere, abogera Uganda nasonga mbere. Since we are moving forward, we are marching on for peace and stability, for greater development, for greater prosperity. These years, the next 5 years will be peaceful, and anybody who tries to disrupt our peace, sisi tuko tayari.
Sisi tuko tayari, abogere Uganda egenda maaso. I wonder where we can get that. Is it an album? Where can we get it?
It is going to come, but you just pass that on.
It is okay.
Abogere Uganda nasonga mbere. Let anybody talk, whether you are on WhatsApp or in America or wherever
Thank you so much, General.
Talk, but Uganda is moving forward.
Tumwine, who is the Minister for Security, he's assured Ugandans, please, let's be peaceful. Do not put yourself in harm's way, because Sayute will not allow that. I want to just leave you with my colleagues there that are going to take you through sports update and social media as well. Maintain peace. Uganda is for all of us, and there is room for everybody. God bless you. Have a lovely day.
bw'oyogera nyaffe Uganda ekkula lya Afrika tolemwa kumwenya olw'akamwenyumwenyu akajjudde abanywanyi. Embeera y'obudde yatukolako mukwano n'obutonde obutubeezaawo ne butusobozesa buli omu okubeerawo mu ngeri ye kuba ffenna tuli banjawulo ne mu ngeri gye tukwasaganyamu emirimu gyaffe. Naye ekitugatta ne tufuuka omuntu omu bwe buwoomye buva mu kyokunywa ekyaleeruya jingatte drink n'aleeruya tamarin drink eddekende erikumala ennyonta ate nga wejjanjaba omubiri gwo. Ekyokunywa kino kye kitegeera emibiri gyaffe kuba kya butonde 100 ku 100. Woomerwa ekyokunywa kirimu omubisi gw'enkooge aleeruya tamarin drink n'aleeruya jingatte drink bikolebwa ba aleeruya reflexology healthy solution and nutritional research center limited. Weefunira ekyokunywa kya aleeruya leero okuva ku maduuka wonna bakubire ku noti 393 24 15 66.
Connect to the world for free on Ayoba. Chat with friends for free. Play games all day for free. Jam to Ziki for free. You can also send money through Ayoba. Absolutely no MBs needed. To download the app, visit www.mtn.co.ug/mymtn and select Ayoba.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Shopping needs, come to Capital Shoppers. We have a variety of items like foods, garments, cosmetics, and all sorts of drinks. Enjoy your shopping experience at affordable prices in our fully stocked branches in the following areas: Ntinda Station Road, opposite Makere Business School along Portbell Road, Justice Street opposite Nakasero Market, and Garden City on Yusuf Lule Road. To all our customers and suppliers, we thank you for your continuous support. Stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, and wear your mask always.
Fruitvale Fruit Juice. Our journey begins in orchards where some of the best fruits are grown. Fruitvale Fruit Juice is 100% natural with no added sugar, filled with the wholesome goodness of vitamins and minerals that nourish your body and delight your taste buds. Enjoy real fruit juice in orange, tomato, apple, beetroot with mango, lemon mint with cucumber, mango, berry and tropical variants. Grab your Fruitvale 100% fruit juice today. Available in all leading supermarkets.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Kasinji buri kiregaruka mutawuni iby'ubururu bibanze byikikana tata
reka kwerarikerera ubwire bwo bururu tubushemerire kuba buryo bwo kufa ningo bwo kucera bushemerire kuba buryo bwire bwihorere abasinga n'abasingwa bashemerire kwatara hamwe ahabwo burungi bwihanga
wagambaje mutabano wanje ubururu n'ubwija bugaruka bugenda kunkitwa abanya-Uganda tusigara mutabano wanje ubahaho kininga ki gitantaro kwejumbara ombyo kwesharinga nabyo kushishagura ibintu by'abandi aho kuba nabiteka amagara gawe omukabi obutumwa obu nubukureterwa aba local initiatives.
Notice peanut butter. Enjoy the real taste of Notice natural peanut butter that spreads happiness to the whole family. Available in smooth, crunchy, and chocolate nut variants. Pick a size that fits your pocket from 125 grams 250 grams, 400 grams, and 800 grams. Nutri's peanut butter, the real peanut butter. Available in all leading supermarkets.
Good morning, Uganda. Today is a great day to make someone's day. A wonderful day to rewrite the future. Today is a beautiful day to light up their world. A marvelous day to make a brand new start. The perfect day to make the world smaller. Uganda, today isn't just another day. Today is your day. Airtel Money, with you always. Airtel Money, quick, secure, borderless.
Fruit via fruit juice. Our journey begins in